Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. As always, it's wonderful to be here with you in your living room or wherever you're watching the show. Oh boy, tonight's program, I think that you need to turn your sets up a lot. We're going to rock you out tonight. You know, sometimes it takes someone chomping at the bit a lot to get me to have them on the show. And this gentleman did that once. And I had him in, and he came in by himself and did a nice little mellow show, and it was all good. And we enjoyed it a lot. And he's been chomping at the bit ever since to bring his band in. And finally we found time for both of us, and that he could get his band with him to come in. I'd like you to help me welcome into your living room tonight, and only tonight, the Papa Joe Show.
Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls of all ages, we are the Papa Joe Show.
that was just a little warm-up for you. Actually, we been working without a bass player for a little while because our bass player we had for 3 years had decided to move on with his other 8 or 9 projects that he was doing. And so we've been auditioning bass players, and we thought we found one. And he came to 2 rehearsals. First rehearsal was awesome, and we told him come on back, and he did. And last night he came in and he had technical difficulties, so he couldn't make it here today because his equipment wasn't working. But we're going to give you a nice show for you anyway. This first song is one that I wrote back in 2006, and I've been playing it pretty much every day since then. This one is called Thank You Girl. I'm living the big life. Life is good, they say. I'm thanking the Lord, girl, for you each and every day. Would have never made it this far without your helping hand. Thanks to you and the Lord above, I'm finally a whole man. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Thanks for all you've done. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Our lives have just begun. Our lives have just begun. I'm living the big life. Life is good, they say. I'm thanking the Lord, girl, for you each and every day. Would have been dead or in prison without your precious love. Thanks to you and all we've been through, I've learned to rise above it. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Thanks for all you've done. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Our lives have just begun. Our lives have just begun. just begun. Our lives have just begun. From the very first day that I saw you, I already knew I'd like to spend my eternal life loving and being with you. From your very first glance, I could see all the love that you bring. Right then and there, pretty girl, you were the one to make me sing. Thank you, girl, thanks for all you've done. Thank you, girl, our lives have just begun. Our lives have just begun. I'm living the big life, life is good, they see. I'm thanking the Lord every day, 'cause He's given you to me. Our love's been through thick and thin, it's been through good and bad. Every day our love just grows, it's the best thing I've ever had. Thank you, girl, thanks for all you've done. Thank you, girl, our lives have just begun. Our lives have just begun. Our lives have just begun. All right, that's called Thank You, Girl. Next up, we're going to do a song that was written by Stephen Palmer. It's a little thing on the state of things in the U.S. and world today, pretty much. And this one's called Crazies.
Crazies. Got way too many of them. We got crazies running everywhere. Problem is they look like us.
Just like us.
How do you stop them when you don't know who they are? Till you clear the rubble and dust.
Rubble and dust.
Got lone gunmen and we got militia groups. Suicide bombers and we got religious kooks. So many crazies we don't know what to do. You might even know yourself a crazy or two. We got crazies running everywhere. Problem is they look like us.
Just like us.
How do you stop them when you don't know who they are? Till you clear the rubble and dust.
Rubble and dust.
Can't go to the grocery store just down the block. Can't go to the movies no more 'cause it's just way too dark. Can't go to school because you just never know. Up pops another fool and it's bang, off you go. We got crazies running everywhere. Problem is they look like us.
Just like us.
How do you stop them when you don't know who they are? Till they clear the rubble and dust. Now they wanna change the rules, take my guns away. Say I'll be safer than I say, that'll be the day. Can't go to sleep at night, laying on my bed, unless I feel my 45 right there under my head. We got crazies running everywhere. Problem is they look like us.
Just like us.
How do you stop them when you don't know who they are? Till you clear the rubble and dust.
Rubble and dust.
Can't go to the grocery store just down the block. Can't go to the movies no more 'cause it's way too dark. Can't go to school because you just never know. Up pops another fool and it's bang, off you go. We got crazies running everywhere. Problem is they look like us. How do you stop them when you don't know who they are? Till you clear the rubble and dust.
Rubble and dust.
We got crazies running everywhere. Problem is they look like us.
Just like us.
How do you stop them when you don't know who they are? Till you clear the rubble and dust.
That's called Crazies, written
Thank
by
you.
Stephen Palmer. Our next tune is one that's based on a true story, happened to a friend of mine. As you know, times have changed, and a lot of states have medical marijuana now, and it helps a lot of people. But there are some people that don't pay totally attention to what they're doing, just like with any other medication. This one is titled Accidental Intoxication. She tried to do something special. She tried to do something nice. Her man was in so much pain. She just wanted to make him feel right. She served him sauteed coconut chicken with creamed broccoli for a side. Thought if she used his cannabis oil, it just might ease his pride. She didn't think it all the way through. She forgot she was eating it too. Accidental intoxication. Don't become the next patient. Tried to tell her what goes up comes down. She wouldn't listen, she was thrashing around. He tried to reel her down just a bit. That's when she said, I think I poisoned myself. She didn't think it all the way through. She forgot she was eating it too. Accidental intoxication. Don't become the next patient. Took her away. She hasn't been seen till this day. The cause of all this separation, accidental intoxication. She didn't think it all the way through. She forgot she was eating it too. Accidental intoxication. She kind of hurt herself. What she did actually helped. His pain was gone, his mind was fine. It's just a shame that she crossed that line. She didn't think it all the way through. She forgot she was eating it too. Accidental intoxication. Don't become the next patient. Accidental intoxication. Don't mess with medication. Next up is one of Steve's favorite songs that we do. This one's called New Day, and this one was written back in 1975. And it's been through quite a few changes to where it is now, but I think we finally captured the essence of the song. woke up this morning, it was a new day. Opened my eyes and found a new way to live. Where once I saw hate, I could not find love. Where once I saw hate, I now find love to share. I was sitting beneath the oak tree, staring at the skies above. I said, Jesus, have mercy on me, teach me to love. Give me peace and freedom, help me help mankind. It's a brand new way, it's a new day. Day after lonely day, walking down that road of life. Like so many others like me, nightmares through the night. Locked up hearts and sweaty souls, trying to find the past. And one morning I woke up and saw this one truth at last. It's a brand new day. Woke up this morning, it was a new day. Opened my eyes and found a new way to live. Where once I saw hate, I cannot find love. Where once I saw hate, I now find love to share. It's a new day. Thank you. That's called New Day. Let's see. Oh, we're going to try something we haven't done too much of on radio shows and television shows. We're going to do a couple of interpretive covers. This first one I heard back in 1954. I won't say how old I was in 1954, but that's when I first heard it. It was done by a lady named Gail Storm, not her real name. Later on, I heard it done by a young man named Dave Edmonds in the 80s. And we're going to show you the Papa Joe style of doing this song. This one's called I Hear You Knocking. Away and left me long time ago. Now you're knocking on my door. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking, go back where you've been. told you not to go, but you said goodbye. Now you're telling me all your lies. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking, go back where you've been. Back to you used to be. Your kind of loving ain't no good to me. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking, go back where you've been. Went away and left me long time ago. Now you're knocking on my door. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking, go back where you've been. Get back where you used to be. Told you way back I can't go with you. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking, go back where you've been. Way back in '02, I could never go with you. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking, go back where you've been. I hear you knocking, Papa Joe style. We're going to do another cover, and this one's from someone that I've enjoyed for many, many years. I hope if he watches this, he enjoys our rendition of his song. This one is called Shanty. Something good to eat, make my head a little high, makes whole day complete. I'm gonna lay around the shanty, mama, we'll put a good buzz on. Well, pass it to me, baby, pass it to me slow. We'll take time to smile a while before we let it go. We're gonna lay around the shanty, mama, we'll put a good buzz on. Well, there's nothing to do. There's always room for more. Fill it, light it, shut up, close the door. We're gonna lay around the shanty, mama. We'll put a good buzz on. Fix me something good to eat. Make my head a little high, make this whole day complete. We're gonna lay around the shanty, mama. We'll put a good buzz on. Well, we'll sit down in the kitchen, fix us something good to eat. Make our heads a little high, make the whole day complete. We're gonna lay around the shanty, mama. We'll put a good buzz on. We're gonna lay around the shanty, mama. We'll put a good buzz on. All right, we're gonna do. How much time do we have? Does anybody know? I haven't been paying attention.
You're doing great.
Okay, then we're gonna do Lido Paul. And don't you start it. Every time, hold it. Every time, ever since I taught this song to the band, they have just blown my mind with it because the way I wrote it originally was super mellow, laid back. Then I turned it into kind of a rock and roll song, and then these people keep trying to turn it back into a 50s doo-wop song. But it actually goes a little something like this. The dogs are barking, the crowds are low. Lido Paul said his first hello. My flesh and love had turned to light. All because of my wife and the grace of God, Almighty God. Thank you, Lord, for this newborn babe. I hope and pray his soul you save. I give him love and tender care. Gotta teach him that you're always there to guide him, Lord, day by day. Lido Paul, though you're small, you're a man inside. I see it in your eyes, I feel it when you smile. Lido Paul, you know all the while about love, that it comes out from above. dogs are barking, the clouds are low. Little Paul was born many years ago. He's brought the sunshine, he's brought the joy. Now the Lord's given him his own baby boy. Little Paul, loose. Dogs are barking, the clouds are low. Little Paul said his first hello. Hello.
Thank you very much. We're going to do a song. Okay, we're going to do a song that we now have out worldwide global radio airplay. We seem to be a real big hit in Germany and in the UK.
And on WCNI.
And WCNI, they like us too, yes. Actually, I have to thank Dot. She played our song when it first came out. She was one of the very first people to put it on the air. Brian Young happened to be the second, I believe. I should put your name in there first, huh? Well, this one's called Keep Rolling Long.
It started in an LA room. My son did his magic with some of my tunes. I liked the sounds that I heard. It somehow struck a real deep nerve. I got to keep rolling on. Have to keep singing my song. Have to keep rolling on. Started playing everywhere. Had to keep the music going anywhere. Let the world hear what I had to say. Gotta keep my music going every day. I got to keep rolling on. Have to keep singing my song. Have to keep rolling on. They say that music is good for the soul. Things like blues and rock and roll. That's why I have to sing my song. Pick up my guitar and play along. I have to keep rolling on. Have to keep singing my song. Have to keep rolling along. 8 years later, I'm on my way. Been playing my music most every day. Let the world have a little cheer. Hope to be doing it for the rest of my years. I got to keep rolling along. Have to keep singing my song. Have to keep rolling along. Started in an LA room. My son did his magic with some of my tunes. I liked the sounds that I heard. It somehow struck a million nerve. I got to keep rolling on. Have to keep singing my song. Have to keep rolling on. They say that music is good for the soul. Things like punk and rock and roll. That's why I have to sing my song for Marie Michelle and Brian Young. Have to keep rolling on. Have to keep singing my song. Have have to keep rolling along, have to keep singing my song, have to keep rolling along, have to keep singing my song. That's called Keep Rolling Along. You can find it on radio stations, internet, and network all over the place in the U.S. and worldwide. We're going to do one that is actually from 1966, and a lot of people associate it with the Vietnam War, when in fact it was written for some teenagers trying to have fun at nightclubs, and the people in the town saying the clubs had to close at 10 o'clock. So it's known as the Sunset Strip Riots, and that's what the song is actually about, and it's called For What It's Worth. Something happening here, what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me that I've got to beware. It's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Battle lines are being drawn. Who's right if everybody's wrong? Young people speaking their minds. And so much resistance from behind. It's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs. Mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. Starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come, take you away. It's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Thank you.
On that note, wow. So Joe's going to come over and sit and talk with us. I have to say that with all that's going on in this country today, that song is profoundly sad. I had to try to fix my tears before I called him to come sit with me. So all kinds of wonderful things do go on in this country, and I think that it's really high time that we focused on those things. So let's talk about art, let's talk about music, let's talk about peace, love, and groovy. You know, the Hygienic is doing all kinds of wonderful things. If you want to know more about what the Hygienic does, then go to hygienic.org. They have a brand new show that will be mounting sometime in the near early October. It's all about photographs. If you're a picture taker, you better check it out, because I think it's called The F Stops Here is the name of the show, and you're allowed to put 3 pieces in, any photographers are allowed to see if their pieces are worth putting in. Go down. There is a small fee for putting your artwork in. I think you're allowed up to 3 pictures. And so check out the Hygienic anyway. And let's talk to Papa Joe. So don't ever do that song on my show ever again.
I'm sorry. I had people at the VFW say the same thing.
Oh my gosh, it's so profound with all that's going on in the country today. We forget that this country runs in cycles.
Yes.
And that we're back to killing each other in our own country.
I know, it's crazy. It's totally way out there. It's beyond, it's like I look back and like Steve says, when he wrote his song, Crazies, and he explained it to me, and I said, you know what, you're right. This is not the country that I fought for.
That you fought for, exactly.
It's totally different. It's gut-wrenching,
It is.
to see it. And that's one of the reasons I do songs like that. And we also do Eve of Destruction,
Yeah.
because those 2 songs are exactly what's going on nowadays. And it's, music goes in cycles just like everything else.
I agree with you.
And that's why we're bringing about new classic rock.
New classic rock, that's a good thing.
Yes.
New classic rock.
It sounds like classic rock, but we're writing it today, so it's new classic rock.
Only from you, Papa Joe.
Exactly.
Only from you.
We're pioneers in that field, I think.
I think that you are. You have been playing music for, we won't say how many decades,
Right.
but more than 1
Oh, yes.
decade,
Yeah, at least.
more than even 2 decades.
Yeah.
But what you've done with music is, I'm sorry, my mind keeps going back to killing people. Your music is timeless. And people that hear it today get to keep moving on is such an ageless song. I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, I can play that. I can play that any show that I do on WCNI, because I do a classical show in the morning.
Which,
and
yes,
then
I love that show.
Thank you very much. But at the end of it, I interview and I play all new music. So it's easy for me to slip that in on my morning show. But any other show that I do, whether I'm doing a blues show or a rock show, when I fill in for another DJ, I can slip that song in.
Yeah, it fits.
It fits everywhere.
And that's the way we wrote it, actually. And it was kind of a fluke. I just, because my eldest son, Ira, who you...
We'll talk about him in a minute.
Yeah, he got me back into music after a long period of not playing. And so I wanted to do something for him. And at the same time, there was that DJ from Massachusetts who was right behind my music from day one. The first day he heard me, it was like, dude, I like what you're doing. And he helped me here and there and had me on his show a few times. And it's like, so I put the 2 together and combined it. It was a dedication song. And then when we went to record it, Steve Palmer, the lead player, he was frustrated at the end of it. He absolutely hated the song.
Why did he hate it? Do you know the
because
reason?
to him it's not showing what he really does, because he's quite a blues player too. And
He's quite a guitar player.
yes, he is. He's incredible. He was a godsend. And for some reason, he didn't think it was good enough for the public. And I told him, dude, it's going to catch people's attention. It's a teaser song. They're going to love it. And beyond my dreams, it took off a lot more than they thought,
It
which
really
is great.
is a great song.
But,
it really is a great song.
and it's a way to get people to come see what we're doing, both with our original tunes and our interpretive covers. And, so I like that song. It's fun to play. It gets people up and dancing and stuff. And it's just a cool song.
Now let's talk a little bit about, first of all, what made you stop playing music? Did you just get family orientated and forget that music was so important?
Well, actually, no. I was doing, after Vietnam, I did shows here and there, and mostly just sat home and wrote because I couldn't put up with people too often. especially in crowds.
Little PTSD going on there.
Yeah, which it's under control most of the time now, thank God to music, actually, you know.
Yeah.
Now I can go out, I actually can, after a show, I actually mingle with the crowd and stuff.
Nice.
Where I wasn't doing that several years ago. I would play a show and I'd be gone, and they'd be going, oh, you know, uppity, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, it was the PTSD. I had to get out of there. But what happened was, my son Ira, at 8 years old, said, hey, Dad, teach me some chords. I want to learn guitar. I'm proud now. Oh, my son wants to learn guitar. So I taught him 3 chords. About 6 months later, I walked in, Led Zeppelin's playing on the radio. The song ended. He started playing it.
Nice.
From ear. And I'm like, uh-oh. A couple weeks later, he's playing all kinds of stuff. He's playing Dimebag Darrell and everybody else, you know, that you can think of. And I'm like, what am I doing with the guitar in my hands? So I put it away and focused on family, getting rid of the PTSD or controlling the PTSD. And so I raised a family, and then we went to visit him in 2008.
Well, first of all, where has Ira gone with that music? Because he's actually gone on to do some pretty big things.
Oh yeah, he is now one of the top 10 metal shredders in the world. He plays with bands like Hellion, Attica 7, Westfield Massacre, Lizzie Borden, all the real big names. And actually him and his mate, Jessica Chase, they do a thing at the Whiskey in LA every Wednesday night. It's called Ultimate Jam Night. And nobody but big name people, and it's a free show for the audience. And all these big name people show up, and they always request Ira to sit in and play because he's gotten so fantastic. I mean, he can play anything, but metal is that's what he loves, you know. And he looks it, you know.
Yeah, and I'll never forget the first time you said who your son was, and I Googled him, because I knew the name.
Yeah.
I knew the name, and I Googled
most
him,
people
and I'm
do.
like, yeah, okay, that takes care of that. Now, you have also behind you another wonderful human being, your wife. Tell us a little bit about her, because she is, without a doubt, one of the most generous and loving women I've ever met in my life.
Oh, heck yeah. She's always thinking of others, always. And when I first met her, we do a song called Intoxicated by Love, not to be confused with Accidental Intoxication. And it's also a true story of how we met. And I met her in Sacramento. I was in a nightclub, Roadway Inn nightclub, and she had been filling in for a waitress. She was normally a bartendress, and she filled in for a waitress that didn't come in. And I'm sitting at this table, and I turn and I look, and I see these legs that just, to die for. And I look back, and I see this beautiful girl, and I'm going, hey, do those go all the way up? And she said, shut up, wise ass. What do you want? You know? And I said, hey, that's an East Coast girl. You know, so I went looking for her for quite a while, and I kept talking to this bartender that, where's that waitress with the long, long hair and long legs? And she'd smile and, here's your drink, you know, and go about her business. About 3 or 4 months down the line, I found out she was the waitress that night. So she was the girl I was looking for the whole time. We became friends, and then we became lovers, and one thing just led to the next.
Well, she's a fabulous person, and it's just a joy knowing
I wouldn't
both
be
of
able
you.
to do what I'm doing if it wasn't for her. I really wouldn't.
Well, she's a huge supporter of what you do.
Oh, yeah.
She's a huge supporter of what your music is.
She's also a muse for some of my songs, if you
well,
notice.
I was just going to say, why do we talk? I was just going to say to you, where does your inspiration come from? Besides your wife, where does your inspiration come from? And if she's one of your biggest muses, what is it she does that gives you your inspiration from her?
She gives me unconditional love.
Ah, nice.
She allows me to be me, something I couldn't do for most of my life. I didn't have the opportunity to explore theater, music and stuff like that because of the background I came from. Right. And it was all about try to do good in school, work with the family business, you know, take care of babysit brothers and sisters. you know, there was always something going on. And I tried a few bands during the teen years, and we had a good time, but I could never really dedicate myself to it. My wife allows me to do that, and that's one of the reasons I love her more than anything, is because she allows me to live my second childhood, so to speak. And,
Do you feel like that's what you're doing right now, is living your
yeah, I
second
really
childhood?
do. I really, that, and I'm finally, after 20 years, living my dream. Well, I am a 35-year-old Vietnam veteran.
Right.
Yeah. So you know, it is. It's like I'm finally living my dream, and without her working and doing what she's doing, I wouldn't have the ability to do what I'm doing. And then I also have to thank, as far as songs, I really have to thank the government, because if they didn't put me through what I went through,
Right.
some of my songs would not exist. But the rest of my stuff just comes from everyday life and people, and wanting to get people to get back to, let's love one another, let's be friends, let's not criticize, let's try to figure out what's wrong and help.
Yep.
You know, all this bombing and shooting and stuff, you know, it's getting me back to where, hey, I struggled for years to get away from PTSD, and the world's just throwing it back on me now. But
Breathe, my friend.
yes,
Breathe.
that's something I do quite frequently, is meditate, breathe, and play music. But I also have to thank my bandmates.
I was
because
just
they're-
going to say, Steve and Steven are here with you. Where did you find these guys?
Okay, well, actually what happened was, one of the first forms of the Papa Joe Show, the drummer, Tim Johnson, said, hey, I got a vet that you need to hook up with. He writes songs, he sings like you do, and he plays your style. I said, really? And I said, well, bring him to one of these Hank shows. And he brought him to one of my shows. And he was on his way cross country on a road trip because he had just gotten divorced. And I said, well, when you get back, look me up. And I figured, that's the end of that.
Right,
Well,
right.
months later, boom, there he is. And we played a couple times together, and I said, hey, I like what's going on. Let's see if we can keep it going. So we brought him into the band, and then we fine-tuned the band by changing a few players. My bass player of 3 years, Ron Kimball, unfortunately left because he's got so much going on. We didn't have any time to book shows around his schedule.
Right.
So we were looking for a bass player, and my drummer, his father got injured, so I had to look for a drummer, and that's when I found Stephen Palmer.
Well, we're getting things corrected from the peanut gallery. Different Steve, but
Steve
that's
Pa-
okay.
oh, yeah, Steve
Listen,
Andrews is the drummer.
Listen, this happens to me all the time. We run out of time. I want you guys to take us out with a song. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
for
having
the
us
love
back.
you bring to the music and to my stage, and keep writing the music, and go take us
All
out
right,
with a song.
we're going to take you out with a song from the 1920s.
While he's getting ready to take us out with a song, I just want to tell you all, remember, love your neighbor, be friendly, do what you got to do, don't hurt anybody, just be friendly, be full of love. And here's the Papa Joe Show to take you home. Have a good night. Until next week, peace, love, and God bless.
This one's called 5'2". Authors are all from disputed, but the one I remember comes from around 1929, and it goes something like this.
Well, 5'2", eyes are blue. Oh, what that 5 feet can do. Has anybody seen my gal? Turned up nose, turned down hose, all dressed up in her concert clothes. Has anybody seen my gal? Well, if you see a 5'2", all covered in fur, diamond rings, all those things, bet your life it's not her. Can she love? Can she woo? Could she, could she, could she coo? Is any